Calcium. Let's start with the one everyone thinks they already knows and then immediately underestimates. Yes, calcium builds strong bones. You've known that since you were a kid. But here's what nobody tells you. Calcium doesn't just sit in your bones and do nothing. It's actively involved in every single muscle contraction your body makes, including your heart. Every time your heart beats, that's calcium at work. Every time you take a step, lift your arm, or blink, calcium is part of that process. It also plays a role in sending signals between your nerve cells, helping your blood clot when you're injured, and keeping your teeth from crumbling. When calcium levels drop, your body doesn't just wait around. It goes directly to your bones and takes what it needs. That sounds like a solution. It's not. Over time, that process weakens your bones from the inside out, increases your risk of fractures, and eventually leads to osteoporosis, a condition where your bones become so fragile that a minor fall can cause a serious break. Most adults aren't getting enough, not even close. Dairy is the obvious source: milk, yogurt, cheese. But if that's not your thing, dark leafy greens, almonds, and fortified plant-based milks are solid alternatives. The key is consistency. Your bones are making deposits and withdrawals every day. Make sure the deposits are winning. Magnesium. This one is genuinely underrated in a way that should frustrate everyone. Magnesium is involved in over 300 different processes in your body. 300. Energy production, protein synthesis, blood sugar regulation, nerve function, muscle relaxation, sleep quality. If you've ever had random muscle cramps, twitching eyelids, or that frustrating inability to fall asleep even when you're exhausted, low magnesium is very often the reason. Here's what makes it sneaky. Blood tests for magnesium are notoriously unreliable because most of your magnesium is stored in your bones and tissues, not your blood. So you can have a normal test result and still be significantly deficient. About 50% of Americans are estimated to be low in magnesium, half the population. And what do people do when they can't sleep, feel anxious, or have no energy? They look for everything except the one mineral that's probably missing. Magnesium is found in dark chocolate. Yes, that counts, as well as nuts, seeds, leafy greens, legumes, and whole grains. Eat more of those. Your nervous system will thank you. Iron. Iron has one job that nothing else can do. It carries oxygen. Inside your red blood cells, iron binds to oxygen in your lungs and transports it to every single cell in your body. Your brain, your muscles, your organs, everything that needs to function needs oxygen delivered by iron. When iron is low, your red blood cells can't carry enough oxygen. The result is iron deficiency anemia, and the symptoms are hard to miss once you know what you're looking for. Constant fatigue, weakness, pale skin, shortness of breath doing things that shouldn't wind you, cold hands and feet. Iron deficiency is the most common nutritional deficiency in the world, not a rare problem, a very common one. Women are particularly at risk, especially during reproductive years, and people who follow plant-based diets need to pay extra attention because the iron in plants, called non-heme iron, is harder for the body to absorb than the iron in meat. Red meat, poultry, seafood, lentils, beans, and fortified cereals are your main sources. And here's a useful trick. Eating iron-rich foods alongside vitamin C significantly increases how much iron your body actually absorbs. Zinc. Every time you get a cold and someone tells you to take zinc, there's actually real science behind that. Zinc is critical for your immune system. It helps your immune cells develop and function properly, which means without enough of it, your body's defenses are genuinely compromised. But zinc does a lot more than fight colds. It's essential for wound healing. Your skin cannot repair itself without it. It supports your sense of taste and smell. It plays a role in DNA synthesis, meaning every time your body makes new cells, zinc has to be involved. It also matters for hormonal health. In men, zinc is directly connected to testosterone production. Low zinc, lower testosterone. When zinc is deficient, you get more infections, wounds heal slower, and you might notice changes in your sense of taste or smell, something that became a lot more publicly recognized during recent years. Oysters are actually the richest source of zinc on the planet by a significant margin, but beef, pumpkin seeds, chickpeas, and cashews are all solid everyday options. Your immune system is working all the clock. Give it the mineral it needs. Potassium. Most people hear potassium and think bananas, which is fine, but it barely scratches the surface of what this mineral actually does. Potassium is your body's electrical manager. It works alongside sodium to control the flow of fluids in and out of your cells, and that process is what allows your nerves to fire signals and your muscles to contract and relax, including your heart muscle. Potassium is one of the most important regulators of blood pressure in the human body. High sodium and low potassium is one of the most common dietary patterns in America, and it's directly linked to hypertension, stroke risk, and cardiovascular disease. When potassium drops too low, the symptoms are hard to ignore. Muscle weakness, cramping, fatigue, irregular heartbeat, and in severe cases, serious cardiac problems. The average American gets about half the potassium they actually need every day. Half! Sweet potatoes, bananas, avocados, spinach, beans, and salmon are all excellent sources. The fix isn't complicated. The gap between where most people are and where they need to be just requires actually eating more of these foods. Sodium. Before you assume this one is just about eating too much salt, hear this out. Sodium gets a bad reputation, and some of it is deserved, but sodium is also genuinely essential. Your body cannot function without it. Sodium controls fluid balance throughout your entire body. It regulates blood pressure, it helps your nerves transmit signals, it makes muscle contractions possible. The problem isn't sodium itself. The problem is the amount. The recommended daily intake is around 2,300 milligrams. The average American consumes significantly more than that, mostly from processed and packaged foods, not from the salt shaker on the table. Too much sodium pulls water into your blood vessels, raising blood pressure and putting strain on your heart and kidneys over time. Too little sodium, which is rare but does happen, leads to headaches, nausea, confusion, and in extreme cases, seizures. The goal isn't to eliminate sodium, it's to be aware of where it's coming from. Whole foods, home-cooked meals, and reading labels goes a long way. Iodine. Here's one that most people genuinely never think about, until something goes wrong. Your thyroid gland, the small butterfly-shaped gland in your neck, is responsible for producing hormones that regulate your metabolism, energy levels, body temperature, heart rate, and brain function. It cannot do any of that without iodine. Iodine is the raw material your thyroid uses to manufacture its hormones. No iodine, no hormones. When iodine is deficient, the thyroid enlarges trying to capture more, creating a visible swelling in the neck called a goiter. More commonly, low iodine leads to hypothyroidism, a condition where your metabolism slows down, causing weight gain, fatigue, brain fog, depression, and feeling cold all the time. Iodized salt solved iodine deficiency for most of the developed world decades ago, but with more people switching to sea salt, Himalayan salt, or simply reducing salt intake, iodine deficiency is quietly making a comeback. Seafood, dairy, eggs, and iodized salt are your main sources, a small but mighty mineral with consequences you really don't want to ignore. Selenium. Last one, and possibly the most overlooked mineral on this entire list. Selenium is a powerful antioxidant. Every day, your cells are under attack from oxidative stress, damage caused by unstable molecules that break down your DNA, your proteins, and your cell membranes. Selenium is one of the key defenses your body uses to fight back. It also works directly with your thyroid. Selenium is needed to convert inactive thyroid hormone into its active form, which means even if your iodine levels are fine, low selenium can still leave your thyroid struggling to function properly. Beyond that, selenium supports immune function, plays a role in reproduction, and is linked to reduced risk of certain cancers in research studies. The wild thing about selenium is how easy it is to get enough, and how easy it is to accidentally get too much. Just 2 Brazil nuts per day gives you your entire daily recommended intake. 2 nuts. That's it. Seafood, organ meats, eggs, and sunflower seeds are also good sources.
The dose matters here more than most minerals. Enough is protective. Too much over time creates its own problems. 2 Brazil nuts. Remember that.